ho, ho!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
It's not Christmas time yet.
Well, it's getting closer, Darce.
Oh my goodness! I did not put my phone. I did not put anything on focus.
Oh, I didn't either. Probably should do that, right?
Yeah. Hey, while we put our computers on focus, if you all could share this out to your page, we're going to talk about holiday stuff, right?
All the stuff. Yeah.
All the stuff.
Yeah.
Chit chat.
Yeah. These are fun ones because there's literally nothing on the agenda except our favorite things. So it could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of favorite things. So, oh gosh, I just got back from the gym. Excuse me. I need to fix those times because you never have me looking at my best because I just came from the gym and we did arms today. So I'm not going to be doing any, it hurts.
Well, we'll give you grace because, it's okay. You don't have to fix your time or fix your face. It's fine.
I have to fix my face. It reminds me of I don't know if it was our mother who said that or somebody. Fix your face.
Oh.
I don't think it was our mother, but that cracks me up.
Yeah.
How are you doing today, Coach?
Well, I'm sore because Planet Fitness, for everybody who is a Planet Fitness member, they understand, well, at least ours did, and I heard the other Planet Fitnesses are doing like an overhaul too. They closed their doors from the 3rd to the 6th. And that was like a whole week. And the week before that, my friend was broken, so we didn't go to the gym, and I didn't have my accountability partner to get me there.
Oh.
And there was snow. So it was been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we did go once before they closed, but then we go, and it's all changed. So we're all like, we walk through the door, and everything's not in their place. So we're like sitting there, like picking our noses, like, okay, now what are we doing?
Wow, yeah. It's just it's unfamiliar. Did they change their colors? Like,
No. It was their equipment. They added a really cool RDL weight thing, and they added a thing where you can sit and do curls, and you added like free weights, like where you see those guys that are like free lifting with those weights and everything, and so they've added that, but I guess they didn't necessarily change. It was kind of fun to add some new things to our. But my friend messaged me this morning. She's like, my thighs. So I said, we have to go tomorrow, or else we're gonna be turned into stone, and we're not gonna be able to move because we're gonna be hurt so bad, and I feel it already. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, and that whole accountability thing is real.
Like,
it just. I don't see, even on the food side of things, if you don't have accountability, you just go through cycles of diets because you don't have anybody that is, doing it with you or pushing you forward. And I was talking with, on my way home from the State House yesterday, we were talking about that. I don't know if it was with you or what, but it was in our group.
Yeah, it was in our group. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Accountability, even if you've reached your goal, like, one of our clients who has reached her goal, she was like, I just don't know how people do this without accountability, because you just need that person who is just pushing you, even if you don't like what they say, they're just pushing you.
Right. And there's so much pressure on social media.
Yeah.
That is kind of counterintuitive here, counterintuitive, I guess. Is that what I want to say? Where it's showing like holidays, and so they're saying like you've got these cool influencers out there that are making cookies now, and it's not really encouraging eating healthy or doing active things. It kind of puts in your brain like, oh, let's curl up by our fire and just cozy in and be lazy, or like it's just opposite. So if you're letting that influence you,
the accountability can be reversed. Well, that's called peer pressure.
It is.
Sometimes it feels like we're in high school all over again, with just one bite won't hurt, just one bite. And so you can have accountability in the positive, and you can have accountability in the negative. Which is pictured as peer pressure. And even us, we get that peer pressure, you know? This is our job. This is what we do for a living. And people still will say, oh, just one bite won't hurt you.
Well, you know.
And so even coaches need accountability. I
Mm-hmm.
think, that's part of the reason why, when I switched my career, part of the reason why I am still, 130 pounds down, because
Mm-hmm.
I know that I've got to give myself to our clients, and I'm not doing it if I'm not doing it with them. So,
Right. Which kind of, I know, I don't know if you were going to say something, but what kind of rolls into one of my favorite things, as a go-to for that accountability and to practice that is, I would say, would be James Clear's book of Atomic Habits, of it applying these uh, new habits, this new mindset, and he talks about accountability partners and
yeah,
making sure that you get an accountability. Oh my goodness, accountability partner,
yeah.
and how to do it. So that would be my first one of
Your
favorite
first
things.
favorite thing is James.
Yeah, as James.
Yeah, it's true. And sometimes I just pull that book out. I just keep it on my desk at all times, because sometimes I'll just pull it out and I'll just read a paragraph, and it's enough to keep me going and enough to be like, oh, hey, you're a little bit off the mark here.
Mhm.
I got to tell you, I'm hurting today. Wow. So yesterday I was in my other life, I have compartments in my life. In my other life, I was living yesterday at the same house, and there was nowhere to eat. Like, we were going from the state house. I had to testify in the Senate, and then we had this window of time where we had to kind of kill time before we went to see the governor for our second meeting. And there was two restaurants. There was, is it John's Donuts? Is that who's popular in New York?
Max.
Jack's. It was Jack's Donuts, or it was a Thai restaurant. And we literally had like a half hour where we had to kill it, and we were starving, because you come out of there, I don't eat before I speak anywhere. And so you had to, and I'm like, I've got to get something in my system, or I could probably pass out because just the intense stress that you're under. And I had not spoken in front of the Senate in 9 years. The last time I did that was when I was, very, very large. And so I was a little bit rusty, and I knew I couldn't eat before I spoke. They were shouting us down. It was just a intense situation. So I had to get something in my system. So I had to choose a donut, and they didn't have anything. Like, you would think Jack's would have like some sort of hot, you know, breakfast sandwich. Nothing. So we had to go to the Thai restaurant, and I had to have rice, and I am hurting today.
Ah,
Every joint in my body is just like screaming. And I know after the CGM test we did, rice is not something that I can tolerate. Like, we're
right.
talking 250 on my glucose monitor. So I knew I don't have one on right now, but I knew what was happening. And it changed my perspective of, I had to get something in my stomach, but whew, I'm paying for it today.
Right. But luckily with Thai food, they do a lot of they typically, at least our Thai restaurant in town,
Uh-huh.
focuses on whole foods and like broths, and
Yeah.
and rice is considered a whole food, I believe. It's in,
Yeah.
but
This was not a
it just
great
does.
choice. Yeah.
Right.
I'm wondering, as we're working with our clients on the CGM, I'm wondering if it's just me, or if people have different tolerances to it. And
Mhm.
I just know that was priceless, a priceless 3 months that I did on that CGM, because now I know
Yeah.
that I've made a different choice. The lady kept the restaurant open for us because they closed at 3. She said, how many of there are? There were 6 of us there. She's like, I'll stay open for you.
Oh.
So we were just like, I had to make an instant choice. So probably if I would have known, a little bit more what a Thai food, I could have made a different choice.
Yeah.
And I probably would the next time. But yeah, it was intense.
Yeah.
But we had a good day. We had a really
Yeah.
good day. Anytime I get to, we took a group of different people. So the governor meets with us once a month with a group of about 5 of us. But this one, we opened it up to Northern Indiana, and it was just a good meeting. It was a really good
Good.
meeting. got a lot of things accomplished. So, but yeah, I pay for it on Tuesdays. I do, because I got to pack all my clients into 2 days instead of 3 days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm very busy today.
Right.
So
I know that I looked at somebody's an influencer's way of talking about the CGM, and I haven't read it yet. I just saw, you know how you have like the hookers, the not the hookers, but the
hookers.
hooking the hooking
Yeah.
phrases,
Yeah.
and it's with the CGM, it's like uh how to find your carb limit. And I think that is so true for all of us, like because certain carbs affect us differently. Just like your question with the rice, I know with me, if I have rice, it has to be like a small portion, like a very small portion. But if you have like a serving size or even 2 serving sizes that they probably plop on those plates usually, I think that's definitely gonna spike that glucose out for anybody. But I think it's a great way of learning what our tolerance is for certain carbs.
Yeah.
And I love that phrase of how to find our carb limit.
Yeah.
So
true. You know, a funny thing about our new program, I did a couple of intake or health consults last week, and one person that I was interviewing did not want to put the CGM on. He was all sold on, on the program, but he did not want to get the CGM. And you know why?
Why?
Because that tells us everything we need to know about what a client is doing. Before we implemented this into the program, we would have to just trust the client to say, oh, I didn't go off plan this week. And maybe, some of them truly didn't know that, the bites, licks, and tastes, they didn't know that, oh, those really do impact my weight loss. Because we've been so conditioned that everything's about calories and everything, I was under my calories while I went off plan today. They didn't have to tell us that in our sessions. Now we know. Before I meet with a client, I open my dashboard and I look at their CGM for the week. I see the spikes, and those spikes tell us, even if they don't tell us what they're eating, they tell us that they were off plan. So some people come into a coaching program thinking they want accountability, but then, well, maybe I don't, because you can actually see my week, and I actually have to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And so he was sold on the program. He wanted to lose, 100 pounds, but he didn't want to tell me about it. And I thought, oh man, that's so telling, and when we have clients who ghost us, I mean, we do, all we do is log on to the dash cam. Okay. Yeah. I know why they ghosted us, because, so yeah.
That could kind of go into our second favorite thing is our CGM. Like, I think that would be great for your holidays. If you want to hold yourself accountable, putting on a CGM is definitely going to hold you accountable for sure.
24/7. It's like you've got a coach on you. And I've seen people who follow my Facebook page, and, they grab the bits and pieces of what we say, and they're not understanding why they're not losing weight, because they got to see, it's not the CGM that makes you lose weight. It's your habits that that you do. It's the types of foods that you eat that actually make you lose the weight. Yeah. And so people are like, well, why am I not losing weight? I follow your Facebook. I'm not losing weight. Well, there's a method behind our coaching that we use with the CGM.
Yes.
And there's a reason why you're not losing weight. If you have it, data is just data. That doesn't tell you how to use that data. We tell you how to use that data. So yeah, CGM is one of our, I'd say I pushed that into number one. I forget what our number one was, but.
Well, I just opened up with James Clear.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite things is mac and cheese.
Oh yeah?
I love the keto mac and cheese that we make.
Oh.
It is I'm hungry right now. But a lot of people are like, oh, I miss the comfort food. I miss that, that yummy mac and cheese. And all we do is we just flip the ingredients.
Mhm.
We make it with, well, I make mine with cream cheese, a lot of mozzarella cheese, some cheddar cheese, some heavy whipping cream, and then I cut the cauliflower up into little mac and cheese bites, and it is just yummy.
Yeah.
That's another one of my favorite things.
Okay. Let's see. What's another? Well, here I'll bring one up because it is the holiday season, and we like to make. People like to make cookies about this time,
Mm-hmm.
or treats that are sweet.
Yes.
And I know that we've always used like Swerve beforehand, but this round, like I've kind of stepped away from Swerve because there's more. It's more corn based. I think like the finer tooth ingredients in Swerve.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, it's got like the corn. What is it? Corn fiber and corn. What is that? It's based from a corn. And corn's not. It's not a great go-to, especially if you are, have sensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to mix it up a little bit with my sweeteners, using allulose as my first.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can find a good, like when you are looking for allulose, not all allulose is created equal, because again, they'll try to sneak some corn in there. So you'll want to base it off of more of like, is it fig, or what is it that they, the fibers that they get pulled from? I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's fig. Yes.
Is it fig? So you want to make sure that it's pure like that. And there's a lot of great brands that do that. I know RX Sugar is one, I believe.
Yeah.
Got
to be careful with RX Sugar now, because they just added a new product. So we do not support their new product because it's made from it's glucose, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful when you go onto these websites and look at the ingredients, but that is one of my favorite products.
And I don't really know I haven't really dug deeper into glucose with whatever mixture that they have and why they use. I think it's supposed to taste more like sugar.
Yeah.
But I think, and maybe using less of it, because with allulose, I feel like you have to use a little bit more than what you would typically with other sweeteners.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. It's just like we didn't know what allulose was way back in the day, and that was actually a really good product because So it's one of those products where I got to dig deeper into it. To support.
Yeah, and that came out after we did our CGM round, so we do not know what that does to the glucose monitor either. So,
right. Right.
But did you, before our session, you held up a product that you're liking too?
I'm not affiliated with them, but they have a lot of other products. This is the liquid one. They have just powdered allulose as well, but it's My Normal. It's Keto Lifestyle My Normal. There's no product. What is it when you are affiliated with a product that's not? It's just one I use. It tastes more like honey to me. And I know that there's another client that made aware. I haven't tried it yet, but Wholesome. No, it's not. Is it Wholesome? What is it?
Is it Marigold?
Yes, maybe.
It was a Marigold, but I don't know. But she one of our clients uses that as honey.
Anyway, Wholesome Yum or something like that. I think that's what something that it is. But they have a variety, and I've got it in my cart ready to go. So there's one that is more like honey, and there's one that's honey and cinnamon, but it's not honey. It's stuff that makes, like when you mix sweeteners together, different types, you can get different textures, you can get different results with your baking. So experimenting with that is good. So this one has a mixture of stevia, monk fruit, and allulose together. So I use that when I'm making my Greek yogurt and I want it to be like take the tang off a little bit. I'll stick that in there, and it's more of like a honey base. But you can do that with your cookies that you make, and just
Yeah.
It's
And a lot of people, this time of year when they get sick, they're like, I want honey. So
mhm.
I love it for when people get sick. They've got that honey, they can do their tea and not have that glucose spike.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Because it's like a teaspoon of honey. That's a
mhm,
serving size, and if you put that in your tea, you're not going to taste that.
right.
I don't
Right.
care who you are.
Yeah.
Um, so I could be wrong. Again, there's always somebody out there that says I'm so sensitive to sweet and I can taste it. So good for you. I
Yeah.
can't. I like
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah.
um, and then another one, since we're on the topic of baking, like utilize your protein powders. Like that is such a good, instead of just doing full out almond coconut flour. I don't know if there's any other type of flour out there. I'm sure there is, that's a decent one to bake with, but that you'll find that the almond flour and the coconut flour are your more common
Yeah.
flours. And if you do, try to find the extra fine if you want it to be more like not have the texture of almonds, so that changes things up. Um, but maybe utilizing those protein powders, like the vanilla protein powders. We love using Keto Chow's Equip, and I think, is there another one that we like to use?
Those are my two. Those are my
Okay,
two. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I know, like, again, are we affiliate? We're not affiliated with Keto Chow,
Mm-mm.
but we
We
should.
just like it. We just like it.
We
Yeah.
just like it, and they have a lot of different flavors that you can like. I know that during the Thanksgiving, people are using their pumpkin spice
Yes.
one in their baking goods for pumpkin, and so just
They-
get creative. Like there's so many things that you can switch out,
Yeah.
and I
They
think
also
that's
have
what.
soup. I love their soup. They have
Yeah.
a broccoli and cheese soup. They have a tomato soup. I love their soups.
Mhm.
If I just need some comfort food that I'm like, oh, I just want soup, I just go put a packet of that in
Yeah,
there.
and you're getting your protein in there.
Yes. Another thing I like is carnivore.
Mhm.
Yesterday, as I had just come from a war in the Senate, and I just went to the lieutenant governor's office and I just sat there in peace for a little bit because I just needed the sound out of my head, and
Yeah.
it's so peaceful in his office. And I'm like, hey, and he didn't have one, but I'm like, do you have any beef sticks in here? He had lollipops in there, and those big lollipops, and he had a bunch of sugar. I'm like, hey, do you have any beef sticks? So amazing right now. And so that's one of my favorite things is, and I didn't have it in my purse, but just throwing a couple of beef sticks in my, because you can always go to the proteins. Always, that's your safe place. That is your, always have those with you. Sometimes cheese sticks are the same, but those are harder to put, if you got them in your purse. Those are gross. But just having that comfort of meat, just love meat.
Yeah.
Meat is my favorite.
Mhm.
Because it will carry you over. Had I been prepared yesterday and had that in my bag, I would not have had the crisis that I did at the Thai restaurant because I would have been more prepared.
Yeah.
And so those things, whenever they had a bunch of like booths there, and people had all of these granola bars, they had all of these things. The ones who have the beef sticks are like, oh, thank you. Thank you. It's protein. It's something that I can instantly get that energy that I had lost previously in there. So
Yeah. And the difference between, you mentioned cheese sticks, like those, for me, it doesn't cut it. Like I think that it's interesting how our stomach, like the whole hour, like the back in the day when they're like, oh, it takes you like 7 days for your body to digest the steak, so don't eat steak. Well, that is saying that your body's digesting it and using all of its nutrients and helping you stay full.
yeah.
Versus like cheese stick, it just goes right through you. It's maybe a moment to, eat something.
Mhm. And for
Which
me,
is,
it's opposite. That is
it's
so
so
funny.
interesting. I did not get full with cheese sticks.
Yeah. I like the ones that you can tear off the string cheese because
Yeah.
I go slower when I eat those. And so for me, it does opposite. For
That's
me,
control.
some people get really, really full on hard-boiled eggs.
Mhm.
I don't. I can eat 9 hard-boiled eggs and still be hungry. Other people are like, no, that is the thing that taps down my hunger and gets all of those hunger hormones in alignment. So
Yeah. That's a
find
good,
your thing. Find your
yeah.
thing.
That's a good point of finding what works for you is not going to work for somebody else.
Yeah.
So finding that thing that you probably need to carry around. I don't know how you'd carry an egg around. You could. There's ways. People do it all the time. You can even like pickle them so that they stay good.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so there's so many options. You just got to think out of the box for you.
Yeah. And in order to do that, you just have to have a mindset of, I'm not going off plan. I'm just not. So if I don't have this here, then I'm screwed, right? And I was screwed yesterday. It's one of those things. Do what I say, not what I do. What I do, but I like to believe yesterday was an exception because not typically you don't have to go give a speech in front of the Senate.
Right.
Yeah. Here's another thing that's one of my favorites. It's not tobacco. I absolutely love the Alpha Company.
Okay.
I don't know about all of their products. I have their mushroom one and I have their Alpha Fuel, but it's just neurotropics. It's just something that you can just throw in your mouth, and it has GABA in it, and it has a whole bunch of just neurotropics, and it gives you the energy. I love those, just kind of in between, like if I'm feeling a little bit tired before a client.
Yeah.
It's just that, whew. Some people do caffeine. I've not done the caffeine ones. They say that you don't have that caffeine jitter with those.
Right.
But I like the holistic kind. So that's one of my favorites that I'm liking these days.
Right. That's a good one to use, especially if you have had a meal and it just maybe was not enough for you, and that's to basically also prevent you from snacking.
Yeah.
Based on the flavor in your mouth, but it also does something to your body where it just turns off that hunger.
Yeah.
Or the idea of hunger.
Yeah,
so
for sure. And the mushroom one is more of a calming one. So at night I like to do those. And again, it's just got, GABA. There's a couple of more things that they have in the mushroom one, but yeah.
What else is our favorite? I don't know.
I love my personal favorite is I love what we do. I love changing lives. And every day that I sit down behind this desk when my mouse is working, I just find so much peace in people wanting to change their lives. People that are sick and tired of the pharma world, who want to do it the right way, who actually want to change their life versus trying, what is that diet that we were talking about earlier?
The Atkins diet?
Trying Atkins for a week, losing a couple pounds, and then going off of it.
Yeah.
But people that really want to change their life for good, those people inspire me, and they make me excited to sit down behind this desk. So that's one of my favorites.
It's interesting because I did a live yesterday on my private, not my private page, but my what is my page? My weight loss project page that I just did it. I jumped on and I did a quick message about like how I'm not a salesperson. I can't convince you that you need a health style change. And I was actually funny thing. I didn't talk to you about this before, but before Mark left for work, we were talking. We've been starting a new thing that we pray together before like during the day or at some point in time we pray together, and we just ask like how can we pray for each other for the day. And I was like, oh, just prayers for my job, and that people that need me will come and find me. And he's like, yeah, I do the same thing. His way of marketing and selling to people is a little bit different. I was like, Mark, you say that, like, you can go and, like, how do you go up to somebody and say, oh, like, I see that you need to lose weight. Let me help you. Like, I'm not, that's not my sales niche there. I'm not going to go up to you and say, hey,
right,
like you need to lose a couple 100 pounds.
Yeah.
There's a quote from Tommy Boy, by the way.
Yeah.
But because he's like, oh yeah, I can just go up to somebody and says, hey, it kind of looks like you need some money.
Right. Yeah, you don't do that.
Difference of selling. And I'm like, I am not a salesperson, but to be able to, try to encourage people about health, that's a hard,
Very
hard
hard.
sales pitch.
Yeah. Very hard.
Because they've got to want it. You don't know if they want it and if they're, desperate enough to be
Yeah.
able to be like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm all in. I'm ready to just, change my life around.
Yeah.
So
Well, and there's not a week that goes by that I don't get an email from a husband, from a man who says, I will give you money. I need you to help my wife. Um, and I have to tell them, I'm sorry. I would love to take your money, but I can't help her until she's ready.
yeah,
I can't help her till she's had her enough moment. And it's heartbreaking because in 9 times out of 10, the husband is not concerned about her weight so much as he lost his soulmate because she's hurting so badly. It's more of an emotional thing of, can you just help her get her identity back? Can you just help her live again? And it's heartbreaking to get those emails because I'm sure my husband felt the same way. He lost his wife for 20 some years because she was dead
right.
inside. And I'm sure he would have thrown money at somebody that if he would have known that she could have been helped. But I wouldn't have done it. I would have done it for a week because I want to make him happy and I want him to be happy with me, but it wouldn't have lasted until that moment where I said, I will do anything. Tell me what to do. I will do anything.
Right.
And the cool thing about what we do is you see instant results. You don't it's the weight comes off fast. And so that for me, I don't know if I would have kept going if it would have been, another diet. So yeah, that is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I always tell them, keep my email, keep my phone number, because when she is ready and when she pulls the trigger, I am here.
Right.
We will do this thing. And that's usually what happens. It usually takes about 6 months for the wife to be like, okay, I know I got to do something.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And technically you're doing the husband a favor because usually if that conversation comes about, you're saving their marriage so that there's not an argument.
Yes, please go tell your wife. I did have a successful one a couple of years ago that the husband said, I am ready to put money down. I'm ready to help you. And the wife was like, okay. Now she had reached her enough moment, maybe just not so vocally, but I've had some success.
Yeah.
So we do gift certificates. I mean, we will do that. It's a very risky gift certificate to get. But we do that and it has worked in the past, but yeah. Well,
I have one more. I have a favorite thing. It's back in the food department.
All right, let's go back there.
Usually during this time of year, with it being cold, and if I don't want coffee, I like to have hot chocolate. So that is my. I have like a little hot chocolate set up with my Christmas decorations usually. For the boys, like if it's snowing and they're, or they just have a hankering for hot chocolate. I got their hot chocolate. But I have my own hot chocolate set up, and I have two different ones that I have a not so great one, but I have it's a better than the other option one. And then I have my other really healthy go-to one. So, so I'll tell you the unhealthy one first, because I'm sure there's ingredients in there that's not ideal, but they do make Swiss Miss and I don't know the other brand. They make a keto one and don't do the sugar-free one. In fact, I don't think I saw keto because keto now is not labeled on everything because that trend is gone and flew the coop. But they have a cleaner version of just a quick packet of hot chocolate mix that's sugar-free. So that's a good option if you're looking for that. But my other favorite one is going with, again, back to the keto chow. They have their chocolate protein mix that I will blend up I'll like pour a little bit of hot water. I'll put a scoop of the chocolate protein mix in my Ninja. I get that all like frocked and mixed together because that's like the easiest way I have noticed to get it creamy. And then I will add my other hot chocolate or my water on top of that and then mix it up. It is
Okay.
like the chocolatist. That's not how chocolate. What is that? It's just really chocolatey. Um,
Yeah.
and then you can also then they do have the you can whip up some heavy cream and throw that on the top, and you can even add a little bit like if you like the peppermint, you can add like a little drop of essential oil in that,
Oh, yeah.
and you have like a peppermint hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And it's so delightful, and it's also a meal, so it's great.
Yeah. Well, and if you have one of those magic bullets, you got to be careful when you take the lid off. But
Yes.
if you have one of those magic bullets, put some heavy cream in there, and an egg. You could do that. That's one of my favorite ways to make it
Oh
most
yeah.
creamy. Some people can't get around that, but if you put that in your magic bullet, you have the most creamiest. And like Darcy said, sometimes you just need that comfort. You just need something different than a cup of coffee. And when you make that, especially during the holidays, you anchor those memories. I remembered it today, Darcy. You
You
anchor those
did.
memories into the holiday season where you're enjoying the season and you're removing the anchor of the sugar and the memories that you had, those foods that weren't good for you, but you re-anchor a new memory with, oh, I'm not going to have a cup of hot chocolate in the summertime, but when my Christmas tree is up, maybe I just want to make a really fluffy, and like Darcy said, you can do it in levels.
Yeah.
If you want, whipped cream and have that, that fun, whipped cream top, go get some sugar free. They make it, they sell it at
Yeah.
Kroger's. Again, not top of the line because there's probably some stuff in there that you don't want, but you still stay on plan
Yeah.
and you have those memories. I hate diets. I hate it when you say, oh, I can't have that.
Mm-hmm.
When you shift your mind to, I'm choosing not to have that, but how can I make it the same, like the mac and cheese version? How can I make it so it's just as yummy and
Yeah.
you still have those memories that are linked to that?
Yeah. I just thought of a product that I've been seeing, and I've actually heard one of my friends say that they have one. It's a container that you can make your own, like, kind. And it's like this,
Oh,
that one, I think they even use it at Starbucks where they make
yeah.
their own cream.
Yeah.
So you can get one of those and
Yeah.
mix your own stuff in there and make your own, and it's
Yeah.
really good. So I
Yeah.
feel like I need to put that on my Christmas list of one of those containers that,
I'm assuming you would put heavy cream in there and
yeah, you could probably put some sweetener in it if you want it a sweet.
vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla. And you shake it up and then it aerates it for you. So
Yeah.
if anybody wants to get me one for Christmas, I would love it. I just now thought of it.
Yeah, that's totally, but it's just, it goes along with our last week's session where we talked about, the three favorite letters of our alphabet, PRE. If you pre-think these things, you can pre-plan and prepare so you have them. And like yesterday for me, there's sometimes that you don't have it. And that's a choice that I made of not being prepared.
Yeah.
Had I been prepared, I would have just gone to the cabinet before I left, threw some beef sticks in my bag. We have a bug out bag that we recommend to our clients. Have that bag at your front door. Had I done that, if I'd followed my own advice, I would have just grabbed my bag, taken it with me. Now, I did bring almonds with me, so I was kind of prepared for the way home.
Yeah.
But I wasn't prepared. But if you just throw those things and keep them in your bag, you're never caught.
Yeah.
Unprepared.
But what you're doing is that you're seeing the mistake, you are reviewing it, and you're seeing how to fix it for next time.
Yes.
And you're not beating yourself up for it.
And I also let the scale, because I'm at my weight loss goal, I also let the scale be my coach So if that scale goes up 3 pounds in 1 week, I am 100% more prepared. I let that scale say, okay, hey, Monica, you're in your range. And there are times when you reach your maintenance that maybe you're not as perfect. For me, eating that rice yesterday was not, because that's all I had yesterday. So it's not a weight issue for me. It's,
Right.
I feel horrible today. I'm hurting today. I physically hurt today because I ate outside of my plan. And so for me, letting that scale not dictate, but coach me of, hey, yesterday I was at the lowest weight that I had been. So it wasn't a weight issue for me. But I also have to bring in my food addiction brain of,
Mm-hmm.
if I would have chosen, because they were going to go to the donut shop, if I would have chosen that over the rice, I would have gone down a 30-pound sugar binge, because I would have, that my addict brain would have kicked in.
Yeah.
And so that's why, I chose the rice, because that's not an addict. That's not a trigger for me. It just really makes me hurt. And I'm sure that, I don't know what they put in, to make fried rice. So there's probably some heavy seed oils, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So it, may not have been the rice that made me hurt so bad. I think, when you bring up the carbs, it does bring inflammation, because rice is the same as sugar in the body. But I'm probably feeling some seed oils as well today.
Yeah.
So,
You bring up another point with your story, and what I'm seeing in your situation is that you probably chimed in when everybody was deciding, hey, do we want to go here or there? I bet you chimed in and say, hey, I would really like to go to this one instead. Like, this seems to be a better option. Let's, if everybody else is on board, I would like to go here. Like, you did not hesitate to put in your input. So that's another one where we end up backsliding, is because we're so people pleasing, and we don't care, but we kind of do care. So say that you care. So yeah.
And my barriers, my fence, we talk about keeping tall fences. After what I went through before, the hours before that, my fences, I was at my bottom, like emotionally, spiritually, everything in me was gone at that point. And so, knowing where your fences are, knowing where because I don't know, because I'm not dealing with the weight issue right now. I would love to tell you that I would have been okay. But when I was way at the bottom, emotionally, physically, all of it, that's when you make the bad decisions. And you just have to know that about yourself.
Yeah.
So part of our coaching is helping our clients and digging deeper beyond the calories, beyond the carbs. Those things are just, those things are tools. But we have to dig deeper and say, where is your line? Where is your boundaries? Where are your fences? And where are you most vulnerable? Because it's not a matter of if that gets you, it's when. Because it could be a fight with your spouse. It could be whatever your life is. I work with a lot of attorneys. That stress level, and even worse than attorneys, are the accountants. Oh my gosh, those accountants, it is hard for them starting from this point until April. Whoa, you guys are under a lot of stress. And so you've got to know that about yourself. I had been out of the game, the political game, for so long. It kind of bit me yesterday, because this was the first speech I had given in about, it's been about 8 years, I think. And they put us on the Senate floor. They put us in the chambers. So it's even another level of stress of, it's so formal in here. And the jeering from the opposition was so intense. It can be a situational thing. Whereas if the regular committee rooms, that's just like a U-shaped table, and you can't see your opponents. You can't see. But that stress level, so knowing that about yourself, and that's what we want our clients to find as we work. That's why our signature program is 3 months, because there's probably a situation in those 3 months that you're going to find one of those triggers for you. You're going to find that stress level for you. But yeah, knowing yourself and your fight, I guess, is so important. If I had a redo yesterday, I would have realized my fences were not tall yesterday at all because it was so stressful. And so I was kind of glad that I went through that, because even when you get to your maintenance weight, it's harder on this side because you don't have to deal with those extra pounds. And a temptation of mine is to step off the scale when it gets to my, and a lot of times, like your pants are tight, but until you see a number flashing in your face, maintaining that weight, your guard is down. It really is, especially during the holiday season.
Right.
Everybody's telling you you're looking amazing, you're looking beautiful, they're telling you all those things. Let your guard down just a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
And to hold you accountable with those pants, don't wear those stretchy pants.
Do not wear stretchy pants.
Do not wear stretchy pants in the winter time. Put those jeans on.
Put your jeans on.
Or whatever. I find that dress pants tend to be tight too. So like if you're just used to wearing your stretchy pants to any holiday, or those fleece leggings, those types of things.
Nope. And it's the season for those things. So put your jeans on. Put them on once a week. You don't have to wear jeans all the time, but put your jeans on once a week, because that will tell you exactly. Now, some of those jeans are pretty stretchy.
That's true.
The sizes that were sizes when I was in high school are different. Like the size, 9 in high school is now a size 16, So find those accountability pants and put them on once a week.
Yep. Everyone just rang tried and true. I'm wearing my jeans today.
Yeah. I'm in my leggings because I just came from the gym. But you've got to put those things on and just have them be your accountability pants.
Yeah.
That's mostly for our friends and clients who are in the maintenance stage now. It's more important for them to do. But I love, get on the scale once a week. You don't have to be obsessive over it, but put yourself within 5 pounds. I tend to hang around the 140s. If I hit 143, 144, I know that there's something that I'm doing that's wrong, that I have gotten a little bit more lax. But it is dangerous when you hit your low. It is very dangerous in your mindset of I'm okay. And we have to remember that we did not become overweight overnight. And so this gradually happens. And it did for me 3 years ago. I really don't remember how it happened, but I got into the 160s and I thought I was fine. And it wasn't until a client of ours said, I had posted a picture, and it was with you.
Yeah.
Picture. So I was sitting awkwardly, but that was not the problem. The problem was I had gotten a little bit lax, and I had to get control over that right away. So mindlessness is probably our greatest enemy of being mindless when it comes to our weight and what we eat. When we stop thinking about it. We had a client last night in our group who had said, I noticed some changes. She had already reached her weight loss goal. She said, I noticed some changes and I got to get this under control. But she found that. And that was my favorite part about that conversation was she knew it, and she knew exactly what to do to correct herself. And I love that.
Yep.
I love it. Well, it is 12 o'clock. So we're going to sign off here. I got to go to the Staples and get a new mouse so that I can work with clients today.
I would just add before we go, I put together a 12 Days of Christmas challenge. So I'm deciding where to post it. I'm wanting to put it in one place. So if you haven't followed, I don't know, we might change that. I don't know. But we have a 12 Days of Christmas challenge. So daily you will find a new challenge to work on, to observe. And so if you don't follow us, go follow so you can make sure that you get the 12 Days of Christmas daily challenge. And it's a good one.
Yeah. So head over to, you can find 2 Facebook groups. You can find Weight Loss Over 40, and you can find the Weight Loss Project. So head over there, and so that you don't miss that 12 days of Christmas. And yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Coach and I are getting ready to get on a cruise. So there will be a week, the first week of January, where you will not see our faces. And so we're getting excited about that. I am ready to get on that boat, and I'm trying to enjoy Christmas right now. But in the back of my mind, I got a countdown going to where we're on that boat. So yeah, awesome. Well, we are here every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. or 11:06 a.m. as this morning.
Sometimes 11:15.
You know,
once upon a time.
Where did those girls go? So yeah, every Tuesday morning at 11, we do have a podcast. We've taken a little bit of time off the podcast, but we're going to gear that thing up at the beginning of the year. And I noticed your internet today is perfect, Darcy.
It has been. Don't jinx it.
Knock on wood.
I don't have any. I have fake wood around me.
So yeah, so join us every Tuesday morning. And if you have a topic that you want us to cover, we will cover it. This was the topic that our group gave us last night of our favorite things. So let us know what you want us to talk about. Probably the first of the year, we'll talk more about the science behind the CGM. I have heard that. So we'll probably do a couple of podcasts on why we use the CGM in our practice. If you need help with weight loss, if you need help getting healthy, Coach and I are here. We have a 3-month program that we love. We get you for 3 months. We get about 30 pounds off of you. And then it's up to you as far as how much coaching that you need. But we're here until you don't need us anymore, until we fire you because you have gotten to your weight loss goal. We don't ever fire clients. In fact, if you're with us over a year, you're automatically in our group. And we use you because you are an expert at that point. So we love our groups. kmhealthcoaching.org is where you find us. We love you to sign up for a free health assessment before you join so that we can get you in the right program, because we have several. And so go over there, grab Darcy's schedule, set up a time with her, set up a time with me, and we will put you in the right program. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Toodles.